My name is Emily Hutzel, and I'm the Human Resources Director at a nonprofit in Portland, Oregon called Cultivate Initiatives. We provide services to unhoused neighbors. We invited John to facilitate the Communication Breakthrough Program for us because we were really hoping to get some insight into our management team's communication styles and understand each other's strengths and challenges a little better. Some of the challenges that we had been experiencing that prompted us to do the training was just some kind of low level conflict or unsettledness between certain people. Just the way that they were approaching conversations could sometimes be disruptive and just not the real comfortable, supportive environment that we were hoping to have. And digging into this was a way for folks to better understand how to approach each other and what those sort of fundamental differences were in order to communicate better moving forward. Coach John worked with us through, he used a lot of different strategies. It was a really interactive training day, did a lot of small group work and presented things in different ways that really hit on everybody's learning styles. There was a lot of hands-on and also visual slideshow and a lot of sharing and listening that also made it understandable for everybody who was in our group. We did the training a little over a week ago. I think even in that short time, we have seen people relating in a different way in meetings and people acknowledging, I'm an S, so I need a little more time to process this information and I'll get back to you later today, or being able to just really name what they need in order to be effective. So that has been excellent and really in just such a short time. It also has really given us this bond that we didn't have before. People really identifying with their type, but also finding ways to joke about that. Our eyes have been getting a lot more compliments, and the S's have been setting up environments in ways that make them feel more comfortable. And so it's just been a really sweet way to give people almost an inside joke to relate to each other and have a better understanding of who they're with every day, all day. Just that different level of relatability, because when you're going through the process, there are things that might be a little uncomfortable to acknowledge. That's part of who you are. And I think it gave our group some opportunity to take those things in a more seriously, but in a lighthearted fashion that really were able to make us understand each other and feel more at ease, I think. I think that people do have a different understanding of how they can walk into a room and what they need to be focused on in order to get the information that they need or the decisions that they want to see. It hasn't been a very long time, but I think especially for our management team working with the next level directors, I think just for them having a better understanding of how to approach folks, it does increase their confidence and ability to come into a conversation more prepared. One thing that really stood out for me is that John is really adaptable. I mentioned that earlier, that he incorporated different styles of interaction and listening in order to really hit on everyone's preferred styles of learning. And there was a lot of questions that came up, and John was really able to clarify and also draw people out. And it was a really engaging session for everybody who was on our team. I think in a lot of these kinds of trainings, some folks might feel like they're putting them in a box because you're limiting them to this type. But I think for us, the way John presented it, that there's really a lot of information here, and some of it is going to really resonate and feel true, and some of it just isn't going to apply. And that's okay. And to be able to have the freedom to pick and choose while still trying to be really honest with yourself, I think is what made it the most effective and interesting for our team, because they didn't feel like they're still human and they still get to have other parts to themselves, but that this is just a tool to help them better explain to others on our team and to understand their own style a little better. I think it was really worth our time. It was a very efficient training, only 4 hours, and we got a lot out of it as a group, and it was really fun. So I think it's definitely worth the investment for any team.